Let's get ready to rumble.
So back to episode 148 Hibs Rumble. We're back for the first episode of 2026. I'm Liam, your host as always. I'm joined by the beautiful, gorgeous Mr. Shaun Corrigan and friend of the show, the world's most famous Motherwell fan, Gogsy99. How are we, lads?
Have that time period. How we doing, guys?
Watch this. We'll have
Tam who?
on next week to have something to say.
Brilliant.
Have that, Gogsy99. I'm the most famous. No, Tam, if you ever want to come on, we will introduce you as the most famous Motherwell fan. So, just if you fancy it. Aye, how are we? Shaun, how was your New Year?
Good, mate. It's good. I'm off. So, yeah, it's been great.
What about yourself, Gogsy?
Fantastic. It was sandwiched by 2 Motherwell wins, so I'm over the moon.
Not bad, eh? Not bad. Motherwell are on a wee bit of a fucking roll at the moment.
Aye. Hopefully it continues on Saturday.
Oh, well, you're on the wrong podcast for that, eh? No, obviously we've got Gogsy on because we'll be talking a wee bit about Motherwell later on in the show. But first off, on Shaun's birthday, actually, on Saturday, we were away to Rugby Park where we picked up a very valuable 3 points on the road, something that we've not been great at recently is going to Rugby Park and winning, Shaun. What seemed to me, Shaun, is that Kilmarnock were on a run of like 13 games without a win, right? So it was very clear that they were going to win on Saturday. Thankfully, it didn't turn out that way. Did you kind of have the same sort of anxiety before a ball was kicked?
Yeah, every time any team in the league needs 3 points, up step the Hibernians, the great entertainers, to put on a show and hand over the 3 points. But thankfully,
The great givers.
it wasn't that. There was no New Year's joy for the Kelly fans, which is good.
Gordon Sawyers would have been absolutely devastated. We had a bit of a makeshift starting lineup, because I'm not too sure if you've kind of been keeping up to date with the Hibs injuries and the players who are all away at AFCON. We've had to kind of be a little bit more makeshifts, probably since the derby, Shaun, eh? You would say. A couple of players
But
are
you've won
injured.
that, so you have no excuse.
This is true, aye. But listen, I was surprised, to be honest, to see Ellie Ewan starting. I wondered from not a Hibs point of view, Gogsy, what you think of a player like Ellie Ewan, because he's probably the most divisive player for Hibs fans. Some love him, some, I wouldn't say hate him, but don't think that he's anywhere near good enough. I wondered, for an outsider looking in, what you think Ellie Ewan?
Well, for me personally, I think he's a wonderful player. Before we had the likes of Tawanda Mazranese, I thought a player of Ellie Ewan's profile would be fantastic for us. I do see similarities in Tawanda and Ewan because they're both explosive players. When they've got the ball, it gets you off your seat. For me, if we didn't have a player like Regan Charles Cook or Tawanda Mazranese, I thought, I'd happily take him on loan if you hate him that much.
I think a lot of people would probably be happy to see him leave the club. I mean, maybe
As
not
long
right
as
now.
it's not another Jair Tavares, because we should never say that name ever again.
Don't talk about our Prince like that. Our number 10, JT10. We love that guy. Shaun, you would have been absolutely delighted to see Ellie Ewan get on the score sheet as early as he did on Saturday. A wonderful kind of corner routine. Barlasser goes short, gets it back off the Hoylett, and that's an absolutely delicious whipped ball into the back stick for Ellie Ewan, who probably isn't awfully well known for his heading exploits, but manages to get it back across goal and it lands in the back of the net. I think 4 minutes into the game, 1-0 up. It's a dream start.
As you know, I'm a big Ellie Ewan fan and a big Ellie Ewan advocate. But on the other side of that, I have been quite critical of him when he's kind of not been up to the level of performance, because we know what he can provide. And as Gogsy already said, that type of profile, a player kind of gets people off their seats, and those are the types of players that you want to go and watch. So I wasn't surprised that he was starting. I was actually really excited when I saw that it was him and Clegy up top together. I do feel like those two are maybe on a similar wavelength and would work well together. It's just a shame for both of them that we have Martin Boyle and Kieran Bowie. But scoring that early is probably the best thing that could have happened for LAU and the support. As you said, he's very decisive in the final. Well, he's very decisive. Let me try and get my words out. Jesus Christ. He splits the support, is what I'm trying to say, like you already said. But in the final third, he is very clinical. Whether that be through his assists or goals. I just live for the highlight reels on Instagram more than anything else. I'm there as soon as they're posted. So for him to get a goal that early on in the game, it would have done him the world of good. And what I liked about his performance as well is if you look at his second goal, I know we'll come on to that later on as well, but the second goal itself, he's the one that's following up, and he's the one that's alert and things like that. And it would be easy for a player that's maybe not had as much game time to maybe not be as alert as that. And he'll understand that the chances he's had in this game and in the games previous, he's taken his chance with both hands, and he's obviously given David Gray food for thought.
Yeah, probably a wee bit of a selection headache. You're talking about him being clinical. I think about 5 or 10 minutes after he scored, he missed for about 6 yards. So that probably wasn't on his highlight reel.
No.
I mean, I thought he was miles offside, to be honest, in that chance. Like the ball kind of gets poked through to him and he's in the box and he's trying to be too clever and go for the goalie's near post instead of like lifting it over him or that. But see, for the rest of that half, Gogsy, I don't know how much you've seen of Kilmarnock so far this season, but they were all over the gaff defensively. And probably Hibs should have been 2 or 3 up before half time. But after watching that on Saturday, I feel like they're in serious bother. I think that's them because Dundee have now won 3 on the bounce or something. They're sitting like 9 points adrift at Dundee. They're lucky that Livingston are in the league, but they are in serious bother, you would think.
Yeah, I mean we've played Kilmarnock twice in the league. We should have beaten them in both. I mean, we beat them 3-1 at Rugby Park recently, but we were held to a 2-8 draw at Fir Park because of Callum Ward's butter hands. But since then, thankfully, our goalkeeping department has improved. I mean, we'll touch on Motherwell when we get to the big game on Saturday. But things are definitely looking up.
Yeah, for Motherwell, Kilmarnock, I think they were talking on Saturday about Robbie Nielsen maybe being the favourite for taking the Kilmarnock job. Now that Jimmy Tillene's left Aberdeen, fucking hell, we've got so much to talk about. Jimmy Tilleen left Aberdeen, Maresca left Chelsea, Amorim left Man United.
Amorim to Kilmarnock.
Maybe listen. Amorim to Kilmarnock and then Maresca up to Aberdeen. You can just see it happening now. Robbie Nielsen takes the Man United job. No, I wonder if Robbie Nielsen will maybe be thinking twice. Maybe he'll be having a wee look at that Aberdeen job up north, Shaun. But I think whoever Kilmarnock bring in, it's got to be someone who, 1, knows the league, and 2, understands that they've got to make a difference because.
But on the flip side, you look at Jens Bertolascu and see what he's done at Motherwell. Like, he didn't know the league before coming in.
I don't think January, when you're in a relegation battle, is the time to bring someone in like that.
You need
to be honest,
to consolidate your position before
you need your big Sams in these moments.
Hughes and that.
Aye, exactly. So I think Robbie Nielsen would probably be a good appointment. And I actually think it would be quite a coup for Kilmarnock to get Robbie Nielsen. But no, that's just me. Second half, Shaun. Kilmarnock actually came out the traps flying. You can say flying. Dogs, shut that dug up. Your dug has set my dug off. Shaun, we came out the traps flying. And we're kind of put a little bit under the cosh by Kilmarnock, and eventually they do get the ball in the back of the net. It's awful defending, really. A great cross, again, kind of similar to Dan Barlasser's for Hibs' first goal. into the back post from I think it's Dominic Thompson, who I thought played really, really well for Kilmarnock on Saturday. John Jules manages to bring it down, fends off Zach Mitchell, shoves over Grant Hanley, and ends up poking it into the back of the net. And it's probably a great goal for Kilmarnock to score, but it's an awful goal for Hibs to concede.
I think when we conceded, my concern is it probably is for many Hibs fans still is what is then on the cards for the rest of the game. Are we going to be able to get back into it? Are we going to be able to get another goal? Are we going to be able to kind of get back ahead and then see this out? I was relatively impressed with the response, and that's probably just because now when we concede, I just expect us to concede not far after. So the fact that we were able to obviously get straight back into it, and obviously Eliuan gets that goal, that for me is what we deserved, considering obviously the first half performance and how poor Kilmarnock was. I don't think them getting that goal reflected the game that great, to be honest. So yeah, the most important thing for me is that we managed to kind of, I was going to say weather the storm. It wasn't really as much as that. It was just a case of making sure that we can stay in the game, and then obviously if an opportunity comes up, we take it, and thankfully we did.
Yeah, well, I have to agree with you there about weathering the storm. I mean, I think that Kilmarnock were obviously going to come out and try and attack us to get a goal back, but at no point did I really feel like we were under severe pressure. I thought we defended really well again. We've been really solid the last few weeks. I even think in the derby, I know we conceded twice in the derby, and there were a couple of poor goals, but I thought that we were able to contain Hearts really well. We contained Aberdeen really well just before the turn of the year. And I mean, I don't think Kilmarnock have an awful lot of attacking threat, but what they did have, we were able to kind of nullify it pretty easily. So that's thankfully for Hibs. And then obviously, talking about the second goal, Lionel Messi's got posters of Jamie McGrath on his wall. I think he's dancing through the defence and unleashes a shot. Well saved, Eliuan, right place, right time, Gogsy, and again, getting himself on the score sheet. And I think, like Shaun said, probably giving David Gray a little bit of a selection headache coming into Saturday.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's good to see him actually get off the mark, because was he on one already this season, or had he not?
I scored up. Did he score? He scored up at Aberdeen, didn't he, Shaun?
He also scored at home very early on in the season. I don't know if that was the Kilmarnock game.
Because
the
commentator said he doubled his account for the season. That's right. But it's a big game to Kelly away is not that easy. So to get 2 goals away from home, just like Tawanda did at Rugby Park. No, it's good for him, and hopefully he doesn't continue.
I think, see for me, I think what might work in, I know we'll obviously come on to the Motherwell game, Gogsy, but what might come and work into your favour is that we've played Kilmarnock away on that terrible pitch at this time of year. Yeah. David Gray touched on it in his post-match about, I think there was like 5 or 6 players that had maybe taken some kind of a knock, and he was hoping that it was just due to the surface that we were playing on rather than anything major. Exactly. And Liam's obviously already alluded to the fact that we've had to reshuffle a wee bit. So obviously we'll be hoping it doesn't work in our favour, but considering you've got players like Jamie McGrath on top form at the minute, it'll be quite interesting to see, because obviously you'll probably try and nullify him quite early on and stop him getting involved in the game, because he's been instrumental, especially the last 3 or 4 games.
What a signing he's been, by the way. I think when we look back at it on the end of the season, I think for Hibs especially, he'll probably be signing of the season. But I think across the board in the Premiership, I don't think there's been many better value for money signings, because obviously we got him on a free from Aberdeen. And then even when we signed him, folk were going, 28 years old on a 4-year deal, always injured, and he's been incredible. Like, his goal return, his assist return, the way that he plays, absolutely fantastic. And I know that you're giving me a wee bit of a dodgy look there, Gogsy, because I know that Motherwell have obviously added a lot of really good players.
May I introduce
for
you
value for money? I think value for money, I mean, you've got to say Jamie McGrath's got to be up there. I mean, with the performances that he's been churning out at Hibs, it's excellent.
Yeah, he's been really good. I mean, from the European games that I saw at Easter Road, as well. I was quite impressed by him as well.
Yeah, I mean the way that he reminds me, Shaun, of and you might. He's like a mix between McGinn and Zamama and McGeoch. He's like a mix of all of them, eh?
How many players are you about to list off here? I'm a big fan of Gogs's 3 or 4 instances already, only 20 minutes into the pod, screwing his face up at things you've said. So we can keep getting Gogsy back on because he clearly disagrees with a lot that you have to say, which I'm all here for.
Well, it's your podcast, so
Call him out, Gogsy. Tell him what it is.
it's not the Gogsy ramble. So
Could be.
Could be.
Yeah, Jamie McGrath's got real quality. Value for money, absolutely. Considering obviously we got him on a free, and Aberdeen fans have obviously been hating that ever since. There has been quite a few free transfers made or low fee paid for players in the SPFL top flight this season. Across maybe 2 or 3 other teams that would probably argue that, and Gogsy would obviously be one of them. The most important thing for us is that he remains consistent, and even when we have all these games in the winter period, he's getting as much time on the grass as possible to just because see once you're in that flow state that he's probably in, we kind of need that to continue. So we don't want him to be getting dropped or rested because at this moment in time it'll be adrenaline and his form that's getting him through.
And we can't really afford to be dropping him either because him and Boyle have been our biggest goal and assist returns this season. So I wouldn't expect Jamie McGrath to be out of the team unless it's due to injury or suspension or anything like that anytime soon. Final word on Ellie Yuan's goal, Shaun. How bad was the celebration?
I'm just glad he got the corner flag at full time.
No, how bad's the celebration? Come on, talk to me about it. He jumps the advertising board and just stands there.
Stares at the support because...
No, but hang on, he's standing there and staring at the fucking empty seats because Hibs fans are all at the back of the stand.
Part of me thinks that he just doesn't like the majority of the Hibs support, so he's just giving them a yeah, that's right, that's me. I've scored a double here. I've got us back in the game. Have some of that. It's like Ellie Yuan needs a wee bit of fire in the belly to perform well. And listen, if that's what works for him, then that's what works for him. It just what I felt bad for is the wee kid that was down the front with his dad celebrating, and Ellie Yuan just completely ignored them. Even he just turned around and walked away. Didn't even give him a high five at the end. He was just staring up at the Hibs fans, ignoring the wee laddie that was in front of him. So it's questionable celebration, but listen, he was all smiles at the end when he had his shirt on the corner flag.
Just to stand there, man. Fuck's sake.
The ego of the guy.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Shaun, you'll need to message him on Instagram and ask him what that was all about. And tell him that if he scores on Saturday, he's going to need to pull his finger out because neither celebration was good enough.
Aye, middle finger to the whole Hibs support.
Lee Griffiths did that one time, didn't he? Lee Griffiths will do that
in the Scottish Cup. Yeah.
Cowden beef, aye. And see if I remember rightly, right? And this was like what? This was like 2012, was it?
13, yeah.
Aye. So if I remember rightly, I think there was a guy in the Hibs end who was like he had the hairline of Lee Griffiths, and he was a bigger gentleman, shall we say? And I remember everyone shouting at him, "You're just a fat Lee Griffiths," and I think Lee Griffiths maybe heard that on the pitch, and that's why he stuck the finger up to the Hibs fans when he scored.
We'd probably have to ask the
Does that ring a bell for you?
No, it doesn't. We'd have to ask the Encyclopedia of Hibs, Craig Leach, on that matter, because I feel like he was getting stick at the time from the Hibs support, not necessarily at the game, but just in general. And I don't know, I think that's maybe why he done it, because he'd obviously scored. Honestly, I can't remember.
But he's maybe also heard folk going, "You're a fat Lee Griffiths," and maybe he's heard something different. Because the guy did look like a fat Lee Griffiths. Like, it's true. Where was I? David Watson, red card. Let's move on to that. I asked you both to have a look at the red card before we come on. We tweeted about it. For me, I've kind of flip-flopped between it's a red card, it's not a red card. At the time, I was like, I think it's a bit harsh, to be honest with you. And then seeing it back, I could see the studs are going down his ankle. But see, to be perfectly honest with you, I'm baffled that it didn't go to an on-field review. Gogsy, you've had a look at it. You're a neutral, so you've not got the bias of either a Kelly fan or a Hibs fan.
I don't have green.
What did you think?
I think it's one of those where I probably wouldn't have noticed it in real time, and I think the referee is just looking for something, and had that been against my team, I probably wouldn't have claimed it. Because it's just one of those. He's running to try and get the ball, and his foot's just gone down the Hibs player's leg, or it looks like a stamp when you look at the replay. But to be honest, I don't think there was that intention in it.
And near the eye, and I think, Shaun, first of all, it's a good spot by the referee. I mean, David Dickinson's probably one of the worst referees in the league, but I think it's a good spot that he manages to see the studs on the ankle. But like Gogsy says, I don't think there's any intention. He's going for the ball. His eyes are on the ball. I think it's really harsh, to be honest.
I think with the current rule set, I'm not really surprised that it didn't go to an on-field review, to be honest. Very similar to what Gogsy said. Like, if it's as a neutral, if you're watching that, if it's for your team, you're shouting for it. If it's against your team, you're shouting for it not to be one. So, the more I watch it, the more I think it is a red card. At the time, and at first glance, I actually thought it would have just been one of those, maybe like an orange, where it's like it's maybe not ticking all the boxes for a red.
The famous Lee Johnson quote. Or was that David Gray that said that orange card?
For years and years.
Like, one similarity I can draw from it is from a game that we had against Dundee United. I think during 21-22 season, funnily enough, Tony Watt got sent off against us at Tannadice for a similar incident. Like, we had a counter attack. Shaun Goss got a bit of a niggle from Tony Watt, and Tony Watt ended up getting sent off for it. And it was something very similar.
I'm just looking at it again here, and I thought it's Barlasser that picks the ball up. Or is it McGrath? It's one of the two. And he's tried to pass the ball across the face, and Watson looks like he's just reaching his leg out to try and block it, and just completely mistimes it. And because Barlasser's swinging his leg across the face of Watson, like he almost like kicks into Watson. Watson does.
I think it's very unfortunate for Watson.
I think the fact that it didn't go to an on-field review is a wee bit baffling. But again, I don't think that's not the referee's fault. That's Bar's fault.
Maybe VAR just agreed with it, and
I think
there's no clear and obvious error because they might have felt that there was more intent that there maybe than first showed, and they've obviously.
There probably is no clear and obvious error.
Maybe it is, and then obviously it needs to be. We speak about this all the time. We hear clear and obvious error, whether you're regardless of you changing the decision. So maybe that's kind of where they've took their stance from. And
you can kind of understand that a little bit though, because it's not a clear and obvious error because the studs are showing the studs go into Barlasser's ankle. So I mean, probably by the letter of the law, it is a red card. But I do think that it could have been sent to an on-field review, and I think it's probably one that we'll hear from Willie Collum at the end of the month. We did ask the Ramblers what they thought. Paul Mackay said.
Before you move on, Liam, you rude man.
Nah, because I'm going to talk about the Ramblers and what they said. Paul Mackay says thought it was harsh. Alan Duncan a bit soft, but it's in line with the rules. Tom says Hearts fan here, but that's a straight red. Ryan Lyle, red card in today's football, not even debatable. David O'Rourke, straight red was correct. 0-7, when I first saw it, thought it was a bit harsh, as he appeared to be going for the ball. Another viewing, he's caught Barlasser after the ball's gone, straight red. Neil Henderson, personally, if he is a footballer of any level, that's intent for me, off. And then we've got Chris Black, it's a clear red, not sure what the actual debate is about. I'm quite surprised about that. I'm quite surprised about the consensus of it's a straight red and no debate.
Maybe because he asked Hibs fans.
Well, there was a Hearts fan there said it was a straight red.
Obsessed.
Yeah, Tom says Hearts fan here, straight red. Cheers, Tom. You fucking bell end. Right, where am I? I need to get back to my notes. I was looking too much at Twitter there. Jamie McGrath scores for the penalty spot, wraps up the 3 points for Hibs. A real good spot from Salinger, Shaun, to find Jamie McGrath. Brings the ball down excellently, runs through on goal, chopped down. Penalty for you, no doubt.
Aye. It's as clear as the red card. It's a clear penalty.
Now this one, I think if that's anybody else on the park, that's a red card.
Nah.
He goes through the back of him, Shaun. Is this only the double jeopardy thing, though? Like, you can't now give a red card and a penalty.
Yeah, but then if you just look back, a week, 9 days in Edinburgh Derby, John Beaton was given nothing for players coming through the back of them. So I'm not really surprised.
When's the rules changed about that? It's a joke.
Every day, mate. Every day.
It's a fucking joke. But, I mean, the main thing is we get a penalty. Jamie McGrath sticks it in the onion bag. 3 points, get a killie pie and get up the road. Fantastic win for Hibs, regardless of the run that Kilmarnock is on. I think we've really struggled there. Maybe like even for the last 5 years. Probably since Neil Lennon's been in charge. We've really struggled to.
There and we got pumped.
Yeah, Mikel Nelom's debut.
Oh dear.
I mean, I think we have struggled there, especially when Derek McInnes was in charge, because we famously have never beaten a Derek McInnes side away from home. Hearts fans will be quick to remind you.
Prior to the weekend,
but
we
listen,
had 4 draws in a row there. 2 1-0s and 2 2-2s.
Fucking hell. We've not had many 2-2s this season, eh? It was like a staple of ours last year.
Chucking away leads.
Getting 2-2s. Yeah. Right. Kilmarnock game, done and dusted. I want to talk a wee bit about the transfer window before we move on to the Motherwell game. But you know what? I'll come to you first, Gogsy. What are Motherwell needing in the window this month?
A big number 9. Someone that can hold the ball up. Because we've been messing around with our starting striker. In recent weeks, it's been Callum Hendry. In their last 2 games, we've played 2 up top with Ibrahim Saeed. You'll know him well, Liam. And
I love that guy, man.
We have caused a lot of teams problems. It's well documented that. But I think if we signed a number 9, I think we'll have to spend money on it as well. Get someone of similar ilk to maybe a Michael Higdon. That gives us that extra option, for example, if we're needing a goal last 10 minutes. Also, I think we need left back cover for Manny Longello because he's been rested a fair bit recently. Because he burns so many calories running up and down that left wing. And also, we'd probably say we need another centre half because I've no idea if Celtic are going to be in any fit shape or form in this month, but they may need to recall Stephen Welsh. And I want to protect that boy so much because he's been so good for us. But they've got until the middle of the month to sort of recall him. So hopefully they don't need to.
What about the fella Stamatolopoulos?
That's a confusing one because for the last few games we've opted to bring on Isapa Osong, a boy we've got on loan from Nottingham Forest, and he is the only thing stressful about being a Motherwell fan right now. He is just hopeless up front, but we've opted to bring him on instead of Stam for I've no idea why. Maybe he's on the way out because he's never even been stripped when he's on warming up at half time. So it could be to do with his work permit because he's not getting that many games at the moment that he may have to be moved on. But if anyone's watching, I'll take $1 million for him, please.
You're talking about strikers there. You're probably looking for someone in the same kind of mould as Kieran Bowie, right? A big physical.
Well, if you're offering, I'll
9.
take it.
A big physical 9.
Yeah.
I think we are quite lucky, Shaun, in terms of our attacking options that we've got. Kieran Bowie, Thibaut Clige, Martin Boyle, they'll kind of bring different sort of qualities to the fold. We are probably on the lookout for a number 9 as well. There's obviously been a little bit of chat about Lyndon Dykes, whether he's going to be coming into Hibs or not this window. He wasn't in the Birmingham squad yesterday, but there has been chat that Charlton are after him. He's out of contract in the summer. I think there's probably going to need to be a few things kind of falling into place, Shaun, but signing Lyndon Dykes would probably be a real big step to solving some of our problems.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree that we are a little bit lucky in the forward areas, but at the same time, how many times have we said that we maybe need that one extra body? And yeah, we've been using Kieran Bowie as that kind of physical number 9, but I could sit here and wax lyrical about Lyndon Dykes. He turns into R9 in a Scotland shirt. Like, it's ridiculous. If there's any way to get him in the green and white, then hopefully it happens. And I think that would release Kieran Bowie to concentrate on things that he's maybe better at in his game. So
gives him a rest as well, because we've been like, he's knackered. Like, you can see it. Like, it gets the clock ticks to about 60.
Yeah, but Kieran will
And
not,
because of the way that he
be
plays
rested
and
either,
what he
because
gives.
especially if a player like Lyndon Dykes comes in, who's, let's be honest, unless he gets injured, is guaranteed to be in the Scotland squad, Kieran will want to impress as well. So it'll probably just put a wee bit extra fire in his belly that he's probably already got. Because obviously Che Adams will go, because Shankland scored that goal, he'll probably go in the season that Hearts are having. So, and then you're looking at George Hurston, maybe might be able to squeeze in another or in replacement of him. So Kieran will need to be in tip-top form between now and the end of the season. We've mentioned it a few times already, whether that is with Lyndon Dykes at Hibs or without it. Kieran will be trying his absolute damnedest, and obviously in recent weeks he's upped his game a wee bit.
I do think he's made a positive step, to be honest. And I think you're perhaps being a little bit harsh on Lawrence Shankland there, because I think he has had a fantastic season so far. It's not just because he scored against Denmark that he'll be on the plane. I think he probably will be on the plane. And I'd also...
I've not heard anything about that club at all. I don't know what
Yeah, no, true.
To.
Well, they've not beat Hibs at Easter Road this season. They've not beat Hibs at Easter Road in 2 years. But listen,
They've
I think...
no beat Motherwell.
Eh?
They've no beat Motherwell this season.
Have they not beat you either?
No, we were 3-0 up at Tynecastle and drew 3 each and drew 0-0 at Fir Park.
Yeah, I wouldn't be gloating about being 3-0 up at Tynecastle and drawn 3 each.
That
was nearly us. That was nearly us.
Got to join in.
It's fine. Hibs were once 4-2
left
up
out.
at Tyney with 2 minutes to go in extra time, and we drew 4-4. So that's worse.
You were also 6-2 up at Fir Park.
Well, that might.
We're 6-2 up at Fir Park. That's so funny, because I said to Gogs, I was like, Shaun's making a Hibs Motherwell quiz, and he replied to me saying every answer that I'm going to put is 6-6.
I was tempted just to make it a 6-6 quiz, but
Graham Smith saved a penalty. Yeah, I think you're looking at a striker for Hibs. I think also the problem positions, maybe not problem positions, but areas that are needing strengthened is definitely right wing back. A couple of murmurs of maybe Harry Clark making a sensational return, Shaun. Do you think it is as important now that Kanayo Meg was kind of started to step up?
Yeah, I think it's been great to see Kanayo do so well. Probably come to the wrong person for that, because, as I've said loads of times, he doesn't do any wrong in my eyes. But in all honesty, he's been really solid, and he's not really put a foot wrong. His pockets are getting quite full in the last 3 games. I don't know how he's going to be able to cope, and hopefully he adds another body into that back pocket of his if he's fit, because I know he picked up
into the hive. Yeah, well, had to come off at before half time, for Chris Cadden, who it was good to see him back. But yeah, I think the correct terminology, Shaun, is the Megwa hive. Kizaridis is in the Megwa hive. By the way,
because I've seen that on Twitter. I have no idea what that's all about.
I have no idea, but I love it, because it's getting updated every week. Kizaridis is in it, Jesper Karlsson's in it, and now Dominic Thompson, for some reason, the Killy left back, is in it. And I don't think, Kanayo Meg was in the park for about half an hour on Saturday, so I don't think you can really claim that.
You conceded when Kanayo was on, so.
True. We also didn't concede when Kieran Bowie was on.
True.
So, you know what I mean? Like, swings and roundabouts. But yeah, obviously a couple of murmurs of Harry Clark coming back. Would that put a little tingle in your pickle,
If
Shaun?
it happened, yes. Will it happen? No. There you go.
Yeah, I can't see it, to be honest. I can't see it. Anywhere else? Maybe a centre midfielder if a certain Josh Mulligan is to
I would
depart
be
this
very,
window?
very surprised if Josh Mulligan was to leave in this window. Very similar to Kieran Bowie. He's got a wee chance of maybe being in that Scotland squad. So any move that he does make in this window, I'll need to be a very, very smart one to make sure that he, one, gets game time, and two, if he does play, he can maintain that form. If he continues playing the way he's playing, it probably or would be better for him to go in the summer for all parties, i.e. we would get more money as well, and there'll probably be better clubs potentially coming in the summer looking to strengthen. So hopefully he doesn't move.
Yeah, I think probably, I mean, he seems like he's quite a switched on laddie, but Gogsy, I was wondering what you thought of Josh Mulligan and the season that he's having. And do you think that the recent praise has been justified? And if he does move, where'd you see him going?
Well, I don't know. I've watched Hibs a few times this season. He impressed me in the European games, but since then, I've not watched too much of Hibs. Like from the games that I have seen of Hibs, it's been in games that Hibs have struggled, i.e. Fir Park, and a couple other televised matches. But yeah, I mean, he was fantastic for Dundee. He's quite versatile as well, so he can move to right back, or he does boss the middle of the park as well. But for me, he's probably in the same category as Elliot Watt, on the periphery of a potential call up for Scotland. So we'll just have to see what
Gogsy,
happens.
what do you think?
We'll have to wait and see. I think
What do you think Lennon Miller will need to do to get into the Scotland squad?
play games for Udinese, Gogsy.
Get a loan move. I mean, he did play against Como, and he was impressed, or he was impressive to the boss. But I think he still needs to get a
Why
loan
do you think
move
it's not worked out for him?
because he's the jump from Scotland to the Serie A.
Do you think he's done it too early?
Well, I'd have liked to have seen him stay at Motherwell for another season. However, we've not needed him, if you know what I mean. Like we played the full pre-season without him in the squad, because we were just basically putting him in bubble wrap, because there was going to be a deal made. But we see with a lot of young players that their careers get ruined too early on because they make that move. Because let's face it, it's a short career, so you got to make your money while you can. But I mean, it's no different. It's slightly different to when we had Jake Hasty play brilliant for 6 months for us. Then he made the move to Rangers, and now he's been bouncing around like League One Championship clubs for God knows how long. Miller's not of that ilk. He's a lot better than that, but still, I think if he stayed for another season, help Motherwell get into European football, then the price tag would have been probably an extra
Double.
Well, an extra million at least we could have asked. But I think he wanted to leave when Kettlewell left. I do believe he tried to force a move then, but we wanted more money for him because Udinese were in for him in January, and then they ended up getting him in the summer. But I think we tried to market him too much, and that sort of forced things.
Do you think the season that Udinese are having? Sorry, Leo, I know we're getting off track here, but I just fucking love Lennon Miller.
No, that's fine.
Do you think the season that Udinese are having, do you think that's played a part in his lack of game time? Because I would have thought it would have been the opposite, because he's not been getting much game time. Udinese haven't been that great that he would have maybe got an opportunity.
Yeah, I think so, because they are struggling, and it's probably at the point where the manager's trying to put his trust in the experienced pros. Like we've probably seen this at our own clubs half a dozen times where things aren't going well. Like for example, when we had Graham Alexander, he wasn't playing young players because we were struggling. He was putting all his hope into the seasoned, experienced pros, and that also wasn't helping. So maybe a bit of arrogance on the manager's part.
Because you can see the quality when he's came on for Scotland. Yes. Every time he comes on for Scotland, you can see it's there. So I was wondering if he was maybe just one of those players where if he was maybe in a top 10 Serie A side that were doing relatively well and maybe a little bit more consistent, would he be shining a wee bit more? Do you know what I mean? Rather than a side that's struggling and then he's maybe not being trusted, like you said.
Aye, well, thing is, you also got to take into account the play style. I mean, I think if Lennon Miller was still at Motherwell, he would have thrived under our possession-based style of play. Whereas under Kettlewell, we weren't too possession-based. It was still very much we'll have 30% of the ball, create chances while you can, but under this, I think Elliot Watt has transformed the way we play as well, because he's very much a controller in the middle of the park. And I think that's what Lennon Miller's job would have been had he stayed.
Do you think in hindsight it would have been better for Lennon to move to Celtic or Rangers as a stepping stone to get to a bigger team, maybe overseas or in England?
Nah, he did.
Not even taking like the Motherwell glasses off, like as Lennon Miller, do you think that maybe making the move to, like, just say Celtic, because I know that Celtic were interested, if he'd have went there, and you look at the season that they're having at the moment and how they've treated Luke McCowan in terms of they took him for Dundee and he's been getting a lot of games, and he's improved probably tenfold since he was at Dundee. I think that if Lennon Miller had made the move to Celtic or Rangers and got the time in a better team, no disrespect to Motherwell, but in a better team in the same league, playing in Europe as well, I think that would have set him up better for a move to Italy or to England or whatever.
I don't think he should. I don't think
it's a really difficult one, because I mean, Miller, if he was going to Celtic, then he'd been better off just staying at Motherwell, because Motherwell would have worshipped him. Whereas at Celtic, you play one bad pass, the whole stadium's on top of you. And I don't think he'd have got that much confidence. Yeah, he'd have got a lot of money, to be fair to him, but with the age he's at and the attitude that he has as a young professional is absolutely top notch. When he was in the Scotland A squad and he wasn't getting a game, he asked to play in the under-19s match, and which was at Fourth Bank, I think it was, in front of 30 people, and 25 of them were probably scouts because they heard he was going to be playing last minute. I don't think he's driven by money. I mean, his dad's an ex-professional as well, so he'd have been taught really well. But I think that he just cared more about playing football. And like Celtic ruined David Turnbull, and now he's at Cardiff City, and he scored against Chelsea, to be fair to him, the other week. But see, if Turnbull had gone elsewhere, he'd have absolutely thrived.
I suppose David Turnbull's a really good example. Scott Allen as well.
I also actually don't think he was doing that great, to be honest. Every time I've watched him.
Not this season, but I think
he was playing wing back the other night.
Not this season, but I think that no one that is playing for Celtic this season is having a great season.
And long way to continue.
Oh, no, fucking hell. Come on, someone's going to stop them at the top of the league.
Well, if you let us win on Saturday, then that'll help a lot.
Listen, I'll get on the phone to Dave Gray. We could be convinced. It's all for the greater good. But no, listen, I think that you're probably right. I just kind of thought there, I was like, well, what if, like, if he'd went to Celtic with a guarantee of you'll play every week, I think there's probably a difference in
I wouldn't trust Celtic as far as I can throw them.
Yeah, exactly.
Anything.
Yeah. Well, let's get to the meat and drink it then, Gogsy. The reason that you are here, Hibs versus Motherwell on Saturday. Motherwell, I had a look at your form, thinking that maybe we could get a little bit excited about it, but 1 loss in 12.
Mate,
not great reading.
One goal in games, and it was to Rangers, and I don't know if that Rangers goal was a penalty. I can't remember. Nah, it wasn't. It was Asgard.
No, it was a tap in from a rebound.
And Motherwell should have had a penalty that day.
That game, if it wasn't for the goalies, it could have been a 3 each or a 4 each. It was a ding dong battle. Like, if one, like, it was a shame that we lost that because neither side deserved to lose it. It was just a really good game of football. But it was just the case of the goalkeepers dictated that game, and unfortunately, we let in a rebound.
Yeah, Liam, the last
one
time
loss
they
in
conceded was the 22nd of November away at Killie. And that was
Fuck it, that's the last time you conceded a goal.
10 games ago.
Aside from the game at Ibrox, yes, I know I can't believe the season we are having. Like, we've only lost. Well, I'm not trying to jinx things, but up until this point we've lost 3 games in the league all season.
Ken what, right? I actually feel sorry for Motherwell because Hearts are the story of the season at the top of the league. Motherwell have went completely under the radar. Actually, no, I don't feel sorry for Motherwell because I think it's taken the pressure right off you. Because you've gone right under the radar. Everyone's now talking about Jens Bertolascu being some kind of tactical mastermind, and all the players that you've got are, I mean, admittedly, have been fantastic. I mean, you look at Maswanise, what a player. Longello again, what a player.
That's some heel turn, Liam.
But you know what I mean? Like, I don't feel sorry for you is that you aren't getting the attention.
No,
that's what I feel sorry for you is. But then I don't feel sorry because I feel like if you were getting attention for the start, it would have knocked you off. I think because you've been able to fly under the radar and kind of go about your work quietly and calmly, because Hearts have been at the top of the league. And listen, clip it if you want. There's a title race on. Hearts, Hibs, Motherwell, and the Old Firm are in a title race. I'm telling you.
Liam, I hope you're relatively right because about 12 months ago you said Hibs would finish third when we were sitting about 11th in the league. So
I said that last season.
You said it on radio. You said it on the radio.
Oh, I did. I did say it on the radio. I think I said it twice on the radio. I said it loads of times on the radio, actually. Everyone was asking me about it. And Hugh Keevans said that I was delusional.
And where did we finish?
Well, we know all about Hugh Keevans anyway.
Liam is also delusional.
Hugh Keevans is a specky tube. I am delusional. Delude them all. That's my favourite medicine.
Well, you just put 5 teams in a title race, so...
Well, there's only 10 points between them.
True, you're right.
From first to fifth. I think that it could get a little bit tasty, especially if Celtic and Rangers continue the kind of up and down roller coaster form that they've had throughout the season. If Motherwell kind of keep up what they've been doing, Hibs look like they're maybe turning a wee bit of a corner now. Hearts, obviously, are 6 points clear at the top of the table, but that can change pretty quickly. We've seen it. I think the longer it goes this tight, the more exciting it's going to be. And to be honest with you, when was the last time we had an exciting end to a Scottish Premiership season at the top of the table? I can't fucking remember.
I can't relate. It's not often that happens to us.
True.
No, but before we continue, I must say Hibs have done an excellent job marketing this game. This is obviously the best game in Scotland to attend this weekend, and it's a fiver to go. It's completely sold out as well.
Hibs have done a real good job. I mean, you got to give them their due, Shaun. We've done it now for a few seasons. I think the last couple of times it's been against St Johnstone, and
was it Kelly one of them as well?
Yeah, I think Kelly was that last season.
The first one was St Johnstone.
Aye, and I think the first one that we played against St Johnstone, that was the first VAR game as well.
I just remember it.
If I remember rightly,
I was flying to Italy.
Yeah, fair. Aye, but I mean, good news for you, Gogsy, is that most times when we do football for a fiver, Hibs get beat. So
excellent.
The stadium's always full, and Hibs get beat. So happy days for Motherwell. But yeah, I think more clubs should probably do it. I don't want to be blowing smoke up Hibs' arse just because I'm a Hibs fan, but I do think it's a real good initiative. It gets folk along.
I'm for it. I'm for it.
Exactly.
As a Fifer, I love keeping my money, so yeah.
But this is it. It can get people along who maybe usually wouldn't go to the football or usually are priced out of it. So the fact that it's kind of opening it up to everyone, and obviously you know that it can't happen every single week, but Hibs try and make a point of doing it once a season, and I think it's really good, and I do think that more teams should do stuff like this. I mean, they maybe do, and we just don't hear about it, but I think ticket prices on the whole in football at the moment are a bit of a fucking joke, but. Listen, what can you really do about that? If we want to see better teams on the pitch, then I mean the main thing that clubs do to make money is to put the ticket prices up. But listen, I'm not a financier or anything like that.
I'll make a side point then, because we know how expensive it can be in Scottish football. I went to a Greek derby in December. It was €15 to see PAOK against Aris Thessaloniki.
Wow.
Which I'd say is almost on par with the Edinburgh derby, because Thessaloniki is the second biggest city in Greece, and it was a full stadium, only of PAOK fans, and to pay €15 for that was absolutely sensational. I'd love it to be carried across into Scotland.
The PAOK fans also go on about derby results that happened 150 years ago that no one was alive to see.
I have no idea, but PAOK are the bigger team than Thessaloniki.
All right, well, the most one-sided derby in the world, maybe, was it?
It wasn't actually. It's quite close, but I digress.
I think we can probably just take, and I think it was the same way. Michelin, when we went over to Michelin, it was like €12 for a ticket.
Yeah, you can go to San Siro
really
for
good.
€9 as well.
Not for much longer.
It's not been knocked down yet, so
I need to get across there before they knock it down.
Yeah, I would love to go to the San Siro. I've never actually been there.
Hibs Ramble trip.
Aye. The AC/Inter Milan Ramble.
Fantastic. Anyway, back to the game.
Yes. Obviously, Motherwell come into the game in good form. They're just off the back of a 2-0 win to St Mirren at home, which I think was the first time since they gave you an absolute doing at Hampden. It's a good way to bounce back, I suppose. Obviously, they went on and won the cup, but you probably would have been easy to capitulate and maybe make it hard for yourselves on Saturday. But 2-0 seems pretty convincing.
It was very convincing. I mean, a lot of teams have come to Fir Park and tried to sit in for a draw this season, and each time we've turned them over. Celtic, Dundee United.
Celtic coming for a draw.
Well, they seemed to set up for it, and we turned them over very easily. So,
sent P. Diddy home in tears.
Well, we've conceded 0 goals at home in 7 games.
For fuck's sake! At least his games don't getting played at Fir Park, eh?
I mean, we only lost 3 games at Fir Park last calendar year, as well. So,
see, this is the thing though. Like, I feel like that's gone completely under the radar.
It has, and I'm glad it has, because you'd have bigger clubs coming swarming for their players, but the thing is, most of our squad's only been there 6 months. So I think we'll be able to keep the nucleus this January, at least until bigger clubs come in the summer. But I mean, since we lost that semi-final at Hampden, only lost 1 game in the league, I can't speak highly enough of Jens Bertolascu. The mentality of the team is fantastic. But for me personally, I'm not looking up yet. I'm just focusing on what's behind us.
Yeah.
Because while we've been picking up wins, Hibs have still been doing the same. They've still been hot on our heels with their results. So if we can win this week to sort of get that daylight between us, then I'll be delighted. Then we can start looking further up the table. But things are there to be won this year, and hopefully, hopefully for you as well, because Rangers and Celtic can be dislodged. We all know that. We just have to all start thinking the same positive way, like, for example, Hearts have, Motherwell have. We're no longer giving the bigger sides respect, and that's why we're dictating games, because we believe that in our philosophy, and that we can go and make things happen on our own.
Well, hopefully someone tells David Gray that we don't have to give the Old Firm respect, because we've been fucking doing that far too much recently for my liking.
I was looking at your results, and for me, statistically, you are the 5th best team in the league, because you've been beaten comfortably by everyone above you. But then you beat Hearts, So maybe that's being turned a wee bit.
I do think that as much of a cliche as it is, I do think that Hearts game is
The turning
an
point of your
anomaly.
season.
I think
Oh,
it's
you
an
think
anomaly,
so? Right.
to be honest, because again, you look at it and you go, Derby game form goes out the window. And I do think that for that game especially, I mean, me and you talked about it last week, Shaun, that Hearts were fucking awful in that game, and form did go out the window because, I mean, we battered them until the last 20 minutes when they kind of turned into the team that they've been all season again. So hopefully we can use it as a little bit of a kickstarter. Obviously, we went on to beat Aberdeen at Easter Road and picked up 3 points again on Saturday. So I think that the fact that both of these teams are coming into the game on the back of some really good form, it's bound to be a 0-0. It's bound to be the worst game of the season, and there's going to be 20,000 people there to watch it. But no, listen, I'm looking forward to it, and I think it's going to be a real good test for David Gray to see where this team is at, because it's all well and good going to Kilmarnock and beating them when they hadn't won in 13. It's all well and good beating Aberdeen, who are, by all accounts, fucking awful. And then I think, like I say, the Derby game's a wee bit of an anomaly. So I think that this is a real good test for us to see where we're at, see if we are actually as good as we think we are at the moment. And if we do win, I think this game, is going to be the springboard of us getting our season back on track. Because you saw it last season, Gogsy. If we can put a few results together, it can really snowball.
You sure did put a few results together last season.
Only the 17 of them, eh? But I mean, like, fucking hell, like, and you've got to believe, Shaun, that, put a few results together, maybe other teams are taking points off the teams above you, and the landscape can change incredibly quickly.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I've kind of more got a question for Gogsy actually regarding the game. See, it's all fine and well us saying how are you going to stop like Jamie McGrath or Josh Mulligan or that. Obviously, he's absolutely played us off the park at Fir Park in the home game. What do you think? What kind of reaction are you expecting from a David Gray Hibs side? Because he's obviously going to try and not allow that to happen again. But then on the same side of that coin, what are you going to do to try and like hurt us the same way? Because it's obviously going to be it's going to be a completely different game. So, like, what should we be more concerned about from a Motherwell perspective?
Well, if you start Grant Hanley, you're gubbed.
I'm not here for the Grant Hanley slander. He's been great for Hibs this season,
It was incredibly funny seeing all the fallout of Jens identifying Grant Hanley as a sort of weak link in the Hibs side at Fir Park.
That's nasty.
No, I found it hilarious because he was asked a question and he answered it honestly. And then there was a bit of media fallout from that. Obviously, like, he comes from a different background, so, like, maybe he's just being himself. He's not meant any malice by it.
Yeah.
But to be honest, if we just, like, the thing is with us, 5 years ago, if I'd said I've watched the exact same game about 5 or 10 times a season, it'd be a negative. But this year it's been positive because we play the exact same way against everyone, and not many teams have an answer for it. So if we just keep playing the same sort of way, because we've dictated a lot of games this season with our possession, if we're just a bit more direct, then I think we will hurt Hibs. And Tawanda's back from AFCON. He got a goal on Saturday. Elijah Just is running everyone off the park this season. Elliot Watt's passing everyone off the park this season. I don't want to sound too confident, but I am fairly confident in our ability to go and win the game on Saturday.
He's a nippy wee bastard, that Eli Just, isn't he, Shaun?
Oh, he's brilliant. I love him.
He's a nippy wee bastard.
Hopefully he's quiet.
No.
He's our Maori Messi. He's brilliant.
I do think, like, what you're saying there is probably how we felt for the most part of last season when we were, during that real good run, is that you weren't overly concerned with what the opposition were going to do. You knew that if you played to your best and play the game that you know that you can, chances are you're going to walk away with the points.
The thing is, I don't think we'll ever be at the level we beat Celtic with last week again.
You can't like
that was single-handedly
that
was the best Motherwell performance. It was perfect, and I don't say perfect too often. It was just the absolute perfect performance. And then against St Mirren on Saturday, we weren't at that level, but we're still pretty high up. So I think the same level as we beat St Mirren with may be the sort of footprint to sort of beating a lot of teams in our league, because St Mirren, Dundee United came to us, and even Aberdeen, you could put in that same bracket. They came to us and basically played for a point, and it took our time, but we did beat every single one comfortably, and like we've not gone out to beat teams 3 or 4-0 because we're not that team. But if we go score in the first half, create a sort of foundation for us to build on for the second half, then that's all we ask for.
I think as well, I mean, with the greatest of respects, and I don't want to sound patronising at all, but I feel like Motherwell aren't the team that teams usually go there and say, all right, we'll sit in today.
No.
I feel like
we've changed that this season.
Yeah, you look at teams like St Mirren, Livingston, and Kilmarnock and that, and probably historically they would go to Fir Park, or Motherwell will go to them and they would say, well, we could probably take something from this game today. So that it kind of blows it a little bit more open. So I think that the way that Motherwell have actually dealt with being a threat and being a team that other teams are kind of fearful of, I think the way that you've dealt with that has been really impressive, considering that, again, Motherwell is one of these teams that have got high turnover of players most seasons. And the fact that you've been able to get this group of players together and they've been able to buy into the new manager's philosophy and the way that he wants to play and the way that he's kind of setting you up to try and dominate games, I think it's really admirable. And I do think that people are not giving Motherwell the credit that they deserve.
Because we're Motherwell.
I don't even think just because of that. I think it's just because of Hearts. I think because Hearts are the story of the season and everyone wants to talk about them and, they're 6 points clear at the top of the league. They've beaten Celtic and Rangers home and away. It's the worst thing. Even when Hearts aren't doing well, Hearts are still the media darlings. You would notice it if you're a Hibs fan, right? Everyone just fucking waxes lyrical about Hearts and Craig Levein and fucking Craig Gordon, all the Craigs, fucking Gary Locke, and all they cunts, you know what I mean? Like, fucking does my fucking head in, man. Shaun, save me here. You've got a quiz.
And not all the questions are relating to the 6-6 game, because I don't know about you.
Right. Wait. It's coming. It's coming.
Attention all ramblers. Don't go anywhere because it's Ramble Quiz time.
I get caned on the Discord. I get caned on the Discord if I don't play that. So,
as I was saying, not all the questions are relating to. I don't know if you are aware, but there was a time where Motherwell and Hibs drew a game 6-6. Don't know if you are aware.
Mm-hmm.
So
remember it well.
There might be a couple of questions relating to that game. So we'll have to wait and see. The plan of action is there's 6 questions, with a 7th decider should we need it, and even if we don't need it, I'm still going to ask you it. We'll go through the questions one by one, and then we'll circle back round and come and get the answers. So all you need to do is either write down your answer or know what your answer is going to be for the questions.
Can I write it on my phone because
Yeah,
I've not got pen and paper anywhere near me?
As long as it's not through Google or AI, that's fine.
I'll put my phone on airplane mode, so I literally can't go. I'll show you.
Fine.
Oh fuck! I'm trying to get my big fat hands. There we go, on airplane mode.
Okay. Are you ready?
Quiz.
Each question is also
Yes,
worth
sir.
1 point, although there may be more than one answer required for multiple questions.
Do you get
No,
multiple
you need
points
to get-
if you get multiple answers?
This is a staple of Shaun's quizzes. That the rules are
They're
never
also-
consistent.
They're also not
Sometimes
flexible at the time of recording. Right.
there was a came what right? Came what last week, and I'm going to call it out again. We did a shirt numbers quiz, Gogsy, and there was a. Do you remember Noah Kenny that played for Hibs?
Yes.
Right. He was going, oh, who was the last person to wear the number 24 for Hibs? And it was Noah Kenny, apparently, because he'd worn it in a fucking
It was
friendly.
League Cup games. It was an assigned squad number.
So it was a
League
friendly.
Cup isn't a friendly.
I'm not being funny, mate, but I
It's a
think
competitive fixture.
Thanks, Gogs.
nah, no for me.
You
It's
will.
beneath me. Maybe
Dig
for-
a break that.
Yes.
Maybe
Yes, you do,
for
Gogs,
teams
you
like
know.
fucking Motherwell, teams like Motherwell who have to play in the League Cup group stages every year because they're not good enough to get into Europe. But no for Hibs.
Right, I've bookmarked that.
Clipped.
Clip.
Question 1. Both sides currently have a player in their side that has played for the other team. Name those players. So you need... No, there's
Just one.
each side.
What?
Each
Not
side
one each.
currently has one player that has played for the other side. Gogsy clearly understood the question.
Yes, sir. No, I understood it. I
So,
was just clarifying
when we
it for the
come back
listeners
to
and,
question
and
one-
viewers.
You will need to have 2 names for me to get the 1 point. Okay.
And no half points.
During
either.
the
Ever.
infamous 6-all match, this is question 2. Motherwell had 2 players that later went on to play for Hibs. Name them. So again, you need 2 names from me when we come back to question 2. So question 2, in the Motherwell side that day, and they played, there were 2 Motherwell players who later on in their career played for Hibs. Name them.
Oh, right, okay. I think I've got one of them. Only two.
2, yes. Hibs had 1, but that's
Wasn't
not.
it?
That's got nothing to do with the question.
Wouldn't he be the goalie? I can't mind who played. I only remember Giles Cook and Lucas Jutkiewicz, and I don't think either of them played for Hibs. I don't even know who scored the other goals for
We're
Motherwell.
going to move on to question 3, so you can either think about it or you can just give me whatever you've got.
Ken, what? See if neither of us get both, but we get one each,
No.
can we get half a point?
You need 2 names.
Right.
So if you've got one, you're going to have to scratch your head.
Have you got them both, Gogsy?
I've got one. It's annoying me.
I've got
Question
one.
number 3. Nice and easy because Gogsy, you probably already know the answer, but Liam said it earlier on. Name the Hibs keeper that was in goal that day.
Oh yeah,
He used to play for Motherwell as well, did he not?
he did.
He's got the world's
other-
highest voice.
The other
I remember
Hibs
that.
player that day in the 6-all that played for Motherwell was Alan Gow, but he did not get on the pitch that day.
Right.
Hence why it's not
Gowser.
part of any of the questions.
He was shite for us as well,
Okay,
was he not?
question number 4.
That's one of the players I had.
What do you mean?
So in the question.
Then. They played for Motherwell.
Can I get half a point then?
They played
No,
for Motherwell
it's fine,
that day,
it's
not Hibs.
Well, he didn't because he didn't get
But
on
he
the
played
pitch.
for Hibs, just not that day.
Fair.
Okay.
Yeah.
Question number 4. In the 2-1 defeat last season for Hibs at Easter Road against Motherwell, who was sent off for Hibs?
Oh, I know this. It was bullshit as well.
Oh, I've got it. It's fine.
You've
a
just
bullshit
got the
sending
answer
off.
by your comments.
I said it was bullshit.
No,
Okay.
take me a second.
It was
Question
bullshit,
number
wasn't
5.
it?
No, I thought it was a red card.
No, it's never a red card.
It's 2 yellows, wasn't it?
It was, aye.
Number 5. Who was
He's
the
never
last
died.
player to score a hat-trick in this fixture?
Oh, Oh no, it wasn't him, was it?
As in the fixture
Just
at Easter
Hib-
Road
just
or
Hibs
at
Motherwell.
Fir Park? Okay.
Fucking hell, that's a tough one, you know. Oh, I know.
Okay.
Have you got it, Gogsy?
I believe so, but I'm not saying it.
You would have filmed it that day,
Question 6.
probably.
In April 2021, Hibs secured a Scottish Cup semi-final spot after a 4-2 win on penalties after a 2-2 draw at Easter Road. Who scored the winning penalty for Hibs?
Oh, I know this one.
I don't.
You'll kick yourself, Gogsy.
Ah.
You'll kick yourself. It was a superb penalty as well. That was that. See that game? That was a fucking roller coaster, man.
All I remember from that game was Ricky Lammy's looping header and Tony Watt's goal.
Did Tony Watt no score like right at the end? Was it right at the end of the 90 minutes?
It was 2-0 Hibs up until like the 80th minute, and then we got 2 late goals.
Shock, Hibs chucking it away again.
Right, so we'll
Shock.
circle back to question 1. I do have a question 7 if it is a tie break, and even if it's not, like I said, I'll give you it because I was very surprised when I found the answer. Okay. Right, question number 1. The question was, both sides currently have a player in their side that has played for the other team. Gogsy, could you give me the Hibs? In fact, have you got both of them? Liam, have you got both of them?
Yeah.
Right, Gogsy,
Yes,
I'll
sir.
get you to tell me the Hibs one, and Liam, you can tell me the Motherwell one.
Yeah.
Gogs. Yeah,
Jesse Cads.
And Paul McGinn.
cool. Point each for both of yous.
Yay!
Okay, question number 2. During the infamous 6-all match, Motherwell had 2 players that later went on to play for Hibs. Name them. Do you have any names?
Right, I have one, and I'm going to take a gamble on the other one.
Gogsy, have you got any?
I've got
Right.
one.
Okay. I tell you what, if you have both got the same one and it's correct, I'll give you a point. Since you've only got the second
no.
one. However, if Liam has both of them and they're correct, then Liam will get the point. Fair?
Okay.
But what if I've got one and it's right, and he's got one and it's
We'll
wrong?
have to wait and see.
Right, okay.
Right. Liam,
Who's
who do
who's
you have?
revealing first?
I've
Right,
got,
the one that I've got as a banker is Chris Humphreys.
Gogsy, you've got Chris Humphreys.
I've
okay.
got Chris Humphreys.
And Gogsy, do you want to take a stab in the dark at another one before Liam?
I'll guess Kevin McBride.
Okay.
But I don't think he was at us at the time.
Oh, fuck. See, I think I went far too late because I went Henry Anyer.
Yeah,
Okay.
he did.
I don't think he was there at that time, was he?
He wasn't asked till like
I'll give
13,
you both
14, I think.
a point
Yeah.
since the player that you both got was correct.
Yay.
However, the other player, and I think Gogsy in particular is going to kick himself here, Jamie Murphy.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, right enough.
I forgot he
Young
played in
Jamie.
that because
I forgot he played for Motherwell. I forgot he played for Hibs.
he wasn't really a starting player in that time frame. I don't think. Or
He
he was in and out of
started
the
that
first
game,
team.
and Chris Humphreys came on for him in the 67th minute.
See, the
That's
funniest
right, yeah.
thing
Aye.
that I remember about Jamie Murphy, right, is I thought he was good for Hibs, right? I genuinely thought he was a good player for Hibs. And then he signed for St Johnstone. I can't remember if it was a January or a summer signing, but I remember the first time we played them, there was Hibs fans giving him abuse, calling him a Rangers bastard. And that, it was the first time we'd played against them. We're going, Jamie Murphy, a Rangers bastard. Or words to that effect. Words to that effect.
Number 3. So you're both on 1 point, or 2 points, sorry. You've both got a point for each one, so 2 each.
Yeah.
Okay, Liam, you've obviously already said the players' names. So Gogsy, who was in goals for Hibs that day? Cool.
Graham Smith.
Perfect. 3 each. Okay. Question number 4. In the 2-1 defeat for Hibs at Easter Road last season against Motherwell, Gogsy, who got sent off for Hibs?
Was it
Liam, was it
Triantis?
Triantis?
It was Nectar Triantis,
Correct.
and it was bullshit.
Perfect. So 4-all.
Yes.
I'm sure he was like booked for diving.
It was a nonsense read. I remember being absolutely livid about it on here.
I can't believe that's the first time we've ever agreed on anything, Sean.
I probably went against you on the recording just for the sake of recording sake.
At the time. And then text me right after and said, "You are absolutely right,
Question
by the way,
number 5.
Also, you're gorgeous."
Who was the last player to score a hat-trick in this fixture, Gogsy? Give me the player that you have.
I'm going with Colin Nish in the 6 each. But
You are going to kick yourself.
When Liam said you probably filmed that day, I was thinking more Kevin Nisbet.
He can't
I asked
change.
him his answer and he said Colin Nisbet.
I said Colin Nish.
Sorry,
He said Colin Nisbet.
I respect the rules, Liam. I respect the rules.
Yeah, it was Kevin Nisbet, because I think that was the fuck off Poachers game.
The black cat.
I love that, man. I'm sure we've spoke about this before, Gogsy, but I think I'm in that video
You probably are, mate.
when you pan to the Hibs fans, and I'm giving it the Kenman that you go easy. Well, I think we were 2-0 up at the time. It was gone easy.
So Liam takes a 5-4 lead.
Come on.
Question number 6, which Liam is already very confident about getting. So again, I'll come to you for this one, Gogsy. In April 2021, Hibs secured a Scottish Cup semi-final spot and a 4-2 Pens win after a 2-2 draw at Easter Road. Who scored the winning penalty for Hibs?
I've probably got this wrong, but I'm saying Martin Boyle.
Liam?
Fuck off, Porteous!
Oh, of course it had to be him, didn't it?
It was Ryan Poitras. So what's that?
It's a great pen as well.
6-4. A 6-4 win.
6-4.
I'll take that. I'll take that this weekend.
I wouldn't mind it. Like,
For the sake of the listeners, the
Chess and games.
tiebreaker question was, and I want you both to think of a guess, or you might know the answer. Don't know how good your knowledge is.
Are we doing a winner takes all?
I tell you what, Gogsy, if you get this correct,
the stakes are high.
100%.
Right, okay.
Stakes are high.
When was the last time both sides played each other at Hampden? When was the last time there was a Hibs Motherwell fixture at Hampden?
I've got a guess, but
It's not been in my lifetime.
Okay, Gogsy, since you've got a
How's that?
guess, I'll come to Liam first.
I don't know.
Yeah, now Liam, you've got to remember here, if Gogsy gets this correct, he's won the quiz.
Well, this, and I don't want to sound harsh, but there's less times for him to remember about Motherwell being at Hampden. He kens it, I can see by his face. 1990.
Is that it? 1990? Right, okay.
Yep.
Right, okay. Gogsy, I'm a wee bit low-key confident here that you might pull this out the bag. Gogsy, when was
I'm
When
hoping.
did they win it?
when
92?
was the last time Hibs played Motherwell at Hampden?
I'm starting to second guess myself because you're a Hibs podcast, so I highly doubt you would have this as the answer.
But what if that
when
is
Motherwell-
the answer?
Well, I'll say it anyway. When Motherwell beat Hibs 3-0 in the League Cup final of 1952. That's my guess.
That's your guess. It's a real
Yes,
shame
that's
that
my
you got the
guess.
year wrong, because if you got the year right, you would have won the quiz. It was 1950.
Is it 51?
1950.
50.
Yeah. The last
Ah!
time played Motherwell at
What a guess that
Hampden was a 3-0 victory for Motherwell in the League Cup final, the 28th of October, 1950.
1950.
Did Hibs get to Hampden in 1990?
No.
Oh, I'm kicking myself. It's funny because see that period we got to finals 3 out of 4 attempts.
And that's why the more I looked
So-
at you, the more confident I got for you, because I feel like I could see it that you'd worked it out. I could not
I was
believe
miles
that's
off
how
it.
long ago we'd played Motherwell at Hampden.
I couldn't even remember the last time we played Motherwell at Easter Road. Never mind fucking Hampden.
So unlucky Gogs, eh?
That's one thing. Aye, we should come up. We should organise that next time we're both in a semi-final. We should get drawn together.
Aye, fix it.
Yeah, you've got like a 1 in 600 chance of that happening, mate.
Might happen
So close, man.
this season. You
Okay,
never know.
okay, that is a moral victory for me because I got half of it.
Got more than half it. You got the score and the competition correct.
And the decade. You got the decade right,
Yeah.
but just know the year. So
Draw them, Liam.
unfortunately for you, 6-4 Hibs. Come on, 6-4. Will Greg up the ticks. Come on. And will we wrap up, lads,
That is all.
with a little bit of listener questionage?
Now it's time to answer the Hibs Ramble listener questions.
First off, as always, John McIntosh asks, "What is for dinner?"
Don't have an answer yet. Sorry, John.
What are you having for your dinner, Gogsy?
I don't know. I'll be at work, so probably a McDonald's on the way home.
Shaun, what did you have last night? Tell me what you had last
I
night.
had a chicken pasta dish for the first time in a very long time.
Shock.
Yeah.
Gogsy, what did you have?
To be honest, I can't even remember, mate.
You can't remember. Can you not remember because it's embarrassing, or can you not remember because you
Probably
didn't-
because it's embarrassing. I'm not gonna give away my 4-4-2 eating habits. Very basic but successful.
I can't actually remember what I had for my dinner last night either. Oh no, I had fish and chips. I was at my mum's. Ali says, could the game against Motherwell on Saturday be seen as season defining?
I think at the minute you could probably say that for a lot of games that Hibs have got, whereas you couldn't say that for Motherwell, just because of how they've been performing.
I do think for Hibs it could be seen as season defining.
I think for us it would, because of how
But
the last
for
game
Motherwell, I
against
don't think
Motherwell
it-
went.
I'm with Shaun this.
I think there's little jeopardy for Motherwell if they get beat.
Mhm.
Whereas for Hibs, it kind of casts us out a little bit from
Aye,
the top
because
four.
if we win it goes 5 points. The difference between us.
Yeah.
But I think he's will be safe in the top 6 anyway, so we'll probably have a couple more
Fucking hope so.
podcasts like this.
Hopefully you win in quiz.
If you'll have me.
Next up, Haz asks, Bowie to start next game or stick with Clegier and Yuan up top? Shaun, what do you think?
I think Bowie will come back in, but I wouldn't be against the two of them continuing together.
Yep. Again, I think I'd be happy with that. I think I'd genuinely be happy with anyone up top because I think they're all good. Nice diplomatic answer there for you. Andrew McMillan says, another big win, 4 points behind the rubbish big two. Have we just put our stamp out now to say we are in the race? Yes, Andrew. That's what I like to hear. The race is on. John White says, could we survive Mulligan moving on this window? Agreed. Spot says, do we think Johan will stay?
Well, I don't
Johan
know.
who?
He's been here for
Johan
about 3.5 years now, so I don't know who Johan is, but Ellie Johan will stay.
And you have hated him ever since.
Dino asks, who do you think will be the outgoings this window? I wonder if we could see a Dylan
I
Levitt
saw
leave.
that, and I don't think there will be many leavers in the current squad unless we get a replacement lined up, if I'm honest. I think at the minute, and it's proved due to AFCON, that we don't really... We have a... I'd like to think that we have a very strong squad, or a strong squad at least. However, when AFCON happened, and we've had a few injuries, you've then seen how quickly that squad comes a bit depleted. So I wouldn't like to see anybody leave without a direct replacement for them. I think at the minute we could do with an extra 2 or 3 bodies of decent quality, of starting quality.
Yeah, agreed. And final question, Billy's asking, and to be fair, I probably need to ask is if you have watched the Stranger Things finale.
Don't believe.
You don't believe? Oh, somebody at my door again, but I'm not going to answer it just yet. Gogsy, have you watched the Stranger Things finale?
I have not watched the Stranger Things finale yet.
Have you watched any of Stranger Things?
I watched through the first series halfway and I was like, nah, I'm bored.
All right, you don't believe.
I'm not a believer. I'm a Doctor Who fan, but not Stranger Things.
So basically, I mean, I don't really want to spoil it for anyone who's not seen it, but
you should probably just
Shaun, you don't believe.
then. I just don't.
Shaun, you don't believe in it. To be honest, okay, I don't believe either. Although, you know what I've seen? You know what I've seen recently online is that there's like a theory. No, there's like a theory that there's going to be another episode, like a surprise episode.
Wouldn't see the point in that.
We could talk about it off here. I don't want to spoil it for anybody. But listen, thank you so much, Shaun and yourself, Gogsy, for joining us.
My pleasure.
This afternoon. It's been fantastic to wax lyrical about Hibs and talk a little bit about Motherwell. If you don't already, make sure you get us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter. If we are on socials, we are at the Hibs Ramble. Again, subscribe to us on your podcast player, Spotify and Apple Music and that. And if you can leave us a review, then it would help.
If you start saying all that, if people then just stop listening at that point and then they just cut off because they know it's the end of the episode.
Maybe. We'll just end it here then.
Next episode, start with a call to action.
Yeah, maybe.
Once you've brought the viewers in,
that's your downfall, Leon. I mean, now you. Can
but then maybe people would just turn right off.
Spoiler, because everyone will have turned off because they think that'll be it.
Yeah, Ken, what I don't think I wouldn't be living my moral high ground life if I was to do that.
Better man than me.
Yeah, true. Well, you say it then. You say the spoiler.
If I was going to say if I was hosting, I would say that at the start, but I don't say that at the start. I say at the end, like you. So that would be contradictory.
Yeah, exactly. So shut your fucking mouth. But anyway, thanks for joining us. See you later.
Let's get ready to rumble.